And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the brand new Mark Ruffalo film, Dark Waters, starring Mark Ruffalo and also Anne Hathaway. Bill Pullman is also in this movie as well, and um, a whole bunch of other actors in here. So, and before I begin, this is a kind of a big spoiler, and not for the movie, but it's more for the story itself. Especially if you haven't heard about this story or aware of this, how this story came to be. This is kind of like a little spoiler for it. So if you don't know about this story, it kind of tells you from the plot of the movie that that's what happens in real life. So you have Mark Ruffalo. He plays a lawyer, and for this big giant tech company. They develop like non-stick pans or something like that. I didn't really know about the company myself when I first heard about it, and then when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's something interesting. So this farmer comes to him for help. Apparently, his cows were dying because something happened to the cows. They got really sick, and then they start dying. So Mark Ruffalo goes and tries to figure out what's going on, and then he discovers that the company that he kind of defends for has been polluting the water supply from this town in West Virginia, and pretty much not only getting animals sick, but getting the environment sick and getting people sick to the point to either death or having cancers or whatever. And when you watch this movie, it's really about Mark Ruffalo trying to take down the company and trying to prove to the rest of the world that like these guys knew what they were doing, and they still did it anyway, and they need to be reprimanded for what they did. This movie is very, very good, but also very, very disturbing. I'm talking about when you watch this movie and you see what they talk about, how they tell you the story of like what the company was doing and what their means to protect their little so-called secret. It's quite disturbing. It's like really like wow, they actually got away with this for decades. It's crazy. And you see Mark Ruffalo, and by the way, his performance was crazy, and I would not be surprised if he gets nominated because he was very, very good in this movie. You have Anne Hathaway, who's also in this movie, and she plays his wife. Excuse me. She plays his wife, and as a concerned woman who's worried about her husband, because you see his character transition from that guy who's he only cares about himself, kind of he does what he has to do. He's been told he's a lawyer, he's got to defend the companies or whatever he has to defend. But then you see him turn when he finds out the truth about certain things, about especially this company. And it's basically a story about somebody going after a big company, whatever the company may be, because they done wrong. They done wrong, and he knows they done wrong, and he feels like it's his responsibility to let the world know, hey, listen, what these guys did and what you guys did to these people is sickening and wrong and disturbing, and you need to be reprimanded. And that's basically the gist of the movie. And to me, like I said before, this movie is very good, very disturbing as well. They got some graphic moments in here. It's like, ugh. Like, you might have, if you have a sense of the stomach, it might turn your stomach a lot. For me, it was like really hard to watch at certain points, but I got through it. And it really opens your mind about what people can put in certain products or whatever, and how it can affect people negatively, or not negatively. Probably butcher that name, negative, whatever. Anyway, it's very like bone chilling too. You feel goosebumps. I felt like really like ooh when I got home. They basically were poisoning people's water supplies for decades, and basically the movie tells you that, listen, Mark Ruffalo, he's trying to stop this. He's trying to tell the world, hey, listen, this is what they're doing. You guys need to fix this problem. And like I said, that's the whole movie. And like I said, you got lawyers in here trying to figure out what to do. You got the company still trying to shake down the one person who started the whole, like, oh, let's stop it. You have a town who some people fear what's going on, what's happening to their town, and others are hating on certain people for getting sticking their noses where it doesn't belong, kind of thing. And like I said before, it's one of those like wow moments, like oof, Like you never know what's in these products, regardless of what it is. You know, it could be in our water supply, it could be on our air, what they're polluting in the air. You know, you figure global warming is a problem, but also pollution and all that stuff. That stuff is scary. You know, we have other world problems too, but still, it's like you gotta be careful with pollution. That stuff can really mess you up, and it's a real thing, and it's kind of scary. But like I said, I appreciated this movie because it really showed us what some companies are pretty much scumbags. You know, they would do anything for a profit. You know, they'll do anything for a profit. Like, you know, anything could be like anything could be anything. You know, so it's like gotta be careful. You know, especially with some products, gotta be careful. Gotta make sure it's safe for people. They gotta make sure they won't harm the environment or animals or whatever. But yeah, I'm glad I saw this movie. I don't think I could watch it again, but it's a very good movie, especially if you want to get information about certain things, especially if you're into that, you know, save the environment thing. And yeah, especially with these tech giants, I can understand why these hippies are always like, you know, protesting, you know, companies like that. I guess now I understand a little bit more, but yeah, it's crazy. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie, and what do you think about this whole issue about people polluting things and, you know, getting into people's products and stuff? Like I said, it's a scary thing, but at least I got to learn a little bit about it. So, you know, comment below, let me know. And like I also said, you know, who knows if this is actually how, you know, how much truth is this to the story. They could have left certain things out, but yeah, but I'm just glad I did see it, but I'm gonna watch it again. So leave me a comment below, let me know what you guys thought about it, and if you saw it, thank you very much and have a good day.